Hi guys, this is Lada from astrolada.com with your weekly horoscope for the week of the 3rd till the 9th of December 2018. And this week we're going to have a new moon. And as you know, new moons are all about new beginnings. And this new moon will influence you for the next 2 weeks. So this prediction is not only for next week, but for the week after that and even the week after that until the full moon. But it's going to be challenging. So we're going to speak about it. And this video, how you can use it best, watch the introduction because it is for everyone. I break down the week for everyone because after that I go sign by sign, Taurus, Aries, whatever. But everything you hear in the intro at the beginning will collectively influence everyone. So you might miss important information because I might not be able to cover everything for each sign. But when I look at it collectively, you'll get to hear, and I'm sure you'll recognize a lot of what I'm talking about in your experiences and how to navigate the week. And before I start, I want to remind you guys and to let you know that the 2019 video horoscopes are out, and each sign is $6.99, and it's about 90 minutes for each sign with a lot of in-depth information. If you like the way I present for the year ahead, and with the most, I give degrees and days that the most important for the whole 2019. Also, we have written 2019 horoscopes. There are 50 slides for each sign, written by my teacher, one of the best astrologers in the world that I know, to be honest, and I still think so. And they are for the sun signs in particular, very simple, very easy to understand. They're also $6.99 for each 50 slides. And I have the 2019 calendar, which is what is happening, what I'm going to talk in the intro now in the weekly. I give it to you for $30 for the whole 2019. You can see what's happening there in the skies day by day. Sun, new moons, invisible planets, visible, what it is good for, with a lot of write-up. It's 105 pages of information, electronic calendar that you get. It's like a small book, basically. So let's see what the week is holding for us. New moons are about exciting new beginnings for the next 2-3 weeks. But this new moon is challenging because it's forming a grand square. And let me share my screen with you so you can see what I'm talking about. Just a second. There we go. And if you can see on the calendar, my 2018 calendar, you see that from the 3rd of December till the 9th, the week starts with difficult aspects: Sun square Mars, Sun square Neptune. Then Mercury goes direct on Thursday. So we have some good news this week. When Mercury goes direct, all those complications with informations, confusions, mistake with words, with messages, with communications, and any kind of business transaction and actions, they sort themselves out when Mercury, and still Mercury is retrograde till the 6th of December. I had a big fiasco with PayPal. It was giving wrong information. My emails got blocked, and all of those kind of complications that are irritating on a daily level will decrease after the 6th of December. Plus Mercury starts to become visible from around that time as well. And we're also going to have Mars conjunct Neptune and new moon in Sagittarius on Friday. So very, very busy week, you see, from the 3rd till the 7th. So from Monday to Friday, so happening, but this new moon will affect you till the 22nd of December. And I'm just going to look quickly. The week starts with Sun square Mars. Well, generally for everyone, this is the Sun and Mars have similar nature. So this can give you a great push to start very energized the week for everyone here. And indeed, something can irritate you and to push you into being more productive and into being more ambitious and driven, because Sun and Mars, they're about our ego-driven impetus, male hormones, and the desire to go conquer and win and get things starting. So yes, total mobilization can happen, completing tasks very fast, go, 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 from the start of the week, the first couple of days, 3 days, because you'll feel it for 2-3 days. And good for any kind of sport activities, as it says here. But be careful with risky sports, because this is a combination for accidents. So this week, I would say the whole week, be careful for small accidents because of this Mars square Sun, especially Leos, because Leos, like Leo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, the Sun is their planet, you know, but everyone can get the influence of this. Also, you kind of stress is there, unfortunately, because it's a stressful influence. There might be some fights as well with male figures. There might be some fights with authority or bosses, because both these planets are planets of males, Sun and Mars. Especially men might feel more stressed, you know, or people that are in careers, because the Sun rules careers and ambitions and goals. But we're very productive, even with the square aspect. The square creates stress, but it's also an aspect of manifestation. It pushes us into taking action, into moving our butt. And, you know, if it depended on us always to move our own butt, it would usually be naturally inclined to take the easy route. But this is why squares, yes, they're irritating, they're frustrating, but they push us beyond our comfort zone to get things done. Then the squares, as I said, they're the aspects of manifestation. You see, kind of everything gets manifested with a bit of a pinch, you know, and a kick. So, and also it can indicate having to do something because you have to, not because you want to. There is an element of forcefulness and being forced into something. But it can be still very productive because you're forced into the solar things, which is get things done, fix something. Mars wants to fix things, wants to get cracking, you know. And you might also be more anger prone because of the inner pressure, the inner stress, you know. So be cautious about that, especially male figures. Somehow they are an authority figures. They can be reasons for conflict. Or if you're a male figure and if you're an authority figure of some sort, a boss, you know, or a father, you can find yourself more challenged but pushed into taking some action as well. And again, square aspects can indicate some obstacles. And when you're trying, you have something planned, and it kind of something throws like a stone in your plan. Or like when you're driving a bicycle, the square is like someone poking, you know, like putting a stick in while you're driving, so it can be frustrating. Or you're trying to go somewhere and someone is hosing you with water, you know, so you have to kind of dodge obstacles, and things don't go according to plan always, but still a lot can be done. It can be very productive. Again, it makes people more impatient, and new activities, though, can be more stressful. And again, I would advise you, don't start new activities this week till after Friday, till Sunday. So basically this whole week don't, because the moon, especially you can start something small, but something that is important, like an important business deal, important, you know, launching of some important thing in your life, starting anew somewhere, because the moon is in its final phases. Before the new moon, things are decreasing. It's good time this whole week to get rid of things, to complete tasks, especially the start of the week with the Sun square Mars. Complete things that have bothered you, tackle them up with this fiery Martian energy between of the Sun and Mars. That's gonna help you, you know, get quickly those new things, you know, get out of the way those old things. And these new activities you can start from Sunday onwards, when the moon starts becoming visible. And there is a rule in astrology: a week when the moon is invisible or decreasing, it's just wait till the moon starts growing, because the moon is responsible for growing everything. You see, the phases of the moon affect the growth of plants and everything living on the earth. So if you want something to grow in your life, do it once the moon, on the first crescent moon, which is from Sunday onwards. And that will start growing fast, giving great results in your life. Till then, completing things, ending things, might be a bit of a stressful week. My God, I'm traveling that day, so maybe my babies will be crying like crazy, you know, a little bit. But it's, you know, it's manageable, because Mars, even the square between Sun and Mars, gives you willpower. But then on December the 5th, and you start feeling it even a day before and a day after, for 2-3 days, we have the Sun square Neptune. And especially Leo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people might feel a bit confused or demotivated because Neptune kind of dissolves this fieriness. Or maybe it's a good time to take a little bit of a break around December the 15th and postpone most important decisions then. And it's around the invisible moon, because you can get confused, and not only Scorpios, and sorry, not only Leos, but everyone will feel this influence because everyone has the sun somewhere in their horoscope and Neptune. And so that's a bit of a confusing day. As you see, I've written here in the last year's horoscope, confusion about your goals. The sun is your goals, where you want to go ahead, the clear vision of fulfilling and creating your kingdom, fulfilling some goal and task. Well, Neptune dissolves it, and you can kind of be miss something or misjudge something, or often you just might feel that you're expecting something to happen one way, but it's unrealistic, you know, because Neptune is confusion when it makes a hard aspect. And also the sun is, of course, authority on male figures that might mislead you or present things in a better light than they are. And it might not be conscious, you know. People are not generally evil trying to do that. There are some psychopaths so that do this on purpose. But, oh, sorry about the noises. It's just, unfortunately, I have conditions that are not perfect here. But some authority or male figure, or there might be some miscommunication that happens with such, or some misalignment of maybe they want something from you, but you misunderstand it, and the confusion comes there. Maybe your husband or your boss or your father, or you might lose track of some motivation to do something. You know, you can feel more like daydreaming or desire to escape tasks, or lack of motivation a little bit, but it's great actually, and finding it hard to focus, as I've written, and might be a bit harder to take initiative as well. And also the sun is executive decisions, making important decisions. When sun squares Neptune, we expect something one way, maybe it's unrealistic, or maybe those important decisions, or starting even some important projects, can lead to expectations that were not according to what you wanted, you know, to some based on unclear assumptions, or based on some kind of an illusion of some sort. All right, then, but you know, it's great time for taking a break of some sort, especially because the moon is invisible as well. This is a time for more spiritual activities. Neptune is naturally spiritual as well, and also some kind of art or spirituality, some kind of more alone activity of some sort, helping others. You know, Neptune is good for all those things. And then we have Mars conjunct Neptune, December the 7th. This is exactly the day of the new moon. And that's, you know, especially Aries can feel, Aries and Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, the days before that and 2-3 days after can feel a little bit less motivated, a little bit more idealistic, dreamy, kind of floaty. And if they have any activities connected, and for everyone overall, activities connected to charity, to helping others, to creative arts, to some kind of more spiritual sport or water sports, which is like swimming, this can be good time though. And it's as well, you can receive help from some male figure, because Neptune, the Mars indicates males, and Neptune is, you know, charity and being kind. You can also want to help others. Neptune is the high octave of Venus, and Mars is action, and Venus is love. So it's kind of more unconditional actions of support towards others. That's all good. And for example, it can happen that a lot of you find yourself feeling more moved into action by, you know, into action and to activities to someone that needs your help. Maybe someone writes you an email asking something, and other times you'll not answer it, but then you take the energy and the effort to help this person. All right, and then the negative influences, of course, lack of drive and ambition, less confidence, shortage of energy, or actions that are secret and that are that someone might harm you secretively, because this Neptune hides, and Neptune hides the motivations, and especially around that time, around the time of the new moon. Let me stop this for a second and share screen for the new moon. Here it is. So you see, the day of the new moon is the same day that Mars and Neptune are conjunct, and they have this powerful square, which is a hard aspect. It's in red, you see? You feel the tension just by looking at it. Between the sun and moon, which is what the new moon is, when the sun and moon are on the same degree. And Mars and Neptune, I'm telling you, the whole week is under this influence, and 2 weeks after that as well. So everything that I'm saying now is going to be active for 2 weeks. So it's be more cautious that week, because someone can stress you. Red square aspect is stress or frustrate you because of some hidden actions, especially this conjunction of Mars and Neptune is in Pisces, which is again hidden action. Pisces can have the best, most humanely inspired actions, the most charitable actions, and on the other level, you can have the most underhanded and cunning actions. And I just want to smack someone who's smacking something outside. I'm just so angry. I'm just talking about the squares and I'm getting angry because this noise is really pissing me off. But it's funny, when you speak about something and think about something, you start getting into its energy. I'm really gonna go beat someone down if they continue to make this noise. But anyway, going back to this, maybe that's how you'll feel in moments during this week because of the Mars square Sun square Moon, especially on Friday and Thursday and Saturday, around that time when the square is most exact. You see that but that's Neptunian and Piscean in nature. And it's even, you can feel that, and this, but the new moon requires new beginnings over the next 2 weeks. But those new beginnings will be activated by something that annoys you, something that pushes your button, and it can turn into a very positive result, but it starts with some kind of frustration. And it might be because someone angers you, Mars, so it might be because someone, because of something that you got confused about or disillusioned, which is Neptune. You realize about something that you're disillusioned about or dissatisfied. This is Neptune's more negative influence, or that is confusing, or that is, or that is frustrating, or both of those things together. And you kind of, this activates you. The square aspect has the energy of Mars, so even further Mars energy. The new moon is activated by Mars, action, anger, let's get moving, and by a square aspect by Mars. And all square aspects carry the energy of Mars. They want to make you fix something. They want to push you into action. It's almost like you're sitting there watching the sunset and you don't want to move. You feel comfortable, and someone comes and kicks you in the butt and you fall off and you're like, what the heck, and you kind of, this puts you into action. Of course, it will be something more meaningful, not this. But Mars, yes, it's painful, it's aggravating, but it's there for a reason. Because how many people do something when they feel comfortable? Very few, And this is what this full new moon is going to do. It's going to start a new beginning in your life. You're going to start it. It's not going to. But some hidden forces or unexpected forces will kind of trigger you. And the good thing is that the square, yes, squares, they're like martial energy, they put us into action, but squares are manifesting. In Vedic astrology, actually, planets in square aspects to each other, they give some very important manifesting combinations, yogas as they call them. So yes, it's frustrating. And if you've seen people with strong square aspects, they, in their chart, they are powerhouses of energy. They have this Martian thing. They get a lot of things done. And usually, though, a lot of time they're quite frustrated. They're not easy to be around. They're kind of hectic, and because there is this inner engine in them, this square aspects. It's as if having a very strong Mars when you have a lot of square aspects in your horoscope. So they constantly feel like they have to go, push, do something. And usually they have a lot of obstacles they have to, that's why they're so frustrated all the time. And because too much squares and square energy like we're going to have this week creates this urge to do something, to change something, because you feel irritated or because you feel challenged by something. And but at the same time, when you're, and gives you a lot of energy like Mars does, and you start acting on it. But if you don't take times to take a break as well, a little bit, to calm down, to balance your emotions, you can become angry, frustrated, even accidents, as I said, can happen, or irritations or stress, turns into stress. And if you've seen such people with many squares, as I said, they're high-strung people. All the ones that I know with 4 or more strong squares, they're on some kind of a calm down pill because it's like the nervous energy is too high, or self-medication. But they're usually very successful people, because this Mars is like an engine, so it doesn't let them stop for a second, or it's like a bee that keeps this stinging them, and they're like, I have to do this, I can't rest till I do it. So you're gonna feel like that. A lot of you can feel this more frustrating, irritating energy, can feel. But this is also an energy that from Friday onwards you start feeling like it will give birth to something new. And we'll speak about each sign where there will be those new beginnings in your life. But I want to tell you that this square that is triggering the new moon and that will affect the next 2 weeks is not so bad, and it's not so hard, because the square happens between planets in Sagittarius and Pisces. These are 2 signs that are ruled by the same planet. Jupiter rules both Sagittarius and Pisces according to traditional astrology, and they have a lot of similarity. Sagittarius is about expansion, growth. Pisces is boundaryless and limitless. And this new moon wants to bring some powerful new beginnings in your life over the next 2 weeks that will be giving results for a year ahead till the next new moon in Sagittarius, which are about expansion and growth and finding purpose and meaning in your life. This is Sagittarius, that make your life feel meaningful, positive in some way, more that there is growth. But something kicks you into it, which is those planets Mars, Neptune in Pisces. Something, even hidden forces, or even your invisible guides, which is what Pisces is, that allow something stressful to happen for you. But it has a higher purpose, because even Pisces is ruled by by Jupiter, and it wants to fulfill the Jupiter rules both, both the new moon and the square that comes to them from Mars and Neptune. And the ultimate goal of this frustration that happens is to lead you to fulfill the Jupiter. What Jupiter wants to do, because it rules both those signs. So it will be the ultimate goal for you. It will be for you to grow, to find some opportunity for expansion, for abundance, and for more meaning and purpose in your life. So to expand your horizons, to bring more positivity in your life. So the goal of whatever is happening this week, even a little bit frustrating or more, it's gonna lead you to the fulfillment of some new beginning, and the ultimate goal even of the square leads to Jupiter, growth, some good things in your life. And a lot of the even stressful things that will happen to you from others or something else, they're good intention, because they're ruled by Jupiter, those 2 signs, and Jupiter has good intentions to help in some way or whatever. But just be careful, because when there is squares between Neptune, between the sun, between the moon and Mars, people that are inclined to inclined to misleading others, inclined to forgeries and lying, and people that create trouble like robberies and things like that, they become more active. And if you have even the slightest inclination towards such things, you can feel it even more enhanced this week. Or you can be harmed by such people that are doing something underhanded, something hidden, or something. They present things in one light, or they overplay it for you. They make it, it's so much better, so much bigger to work. And a lot of people might do this unconsciously this week. And even yourself, you can imagine something way bigger than it is, way better than it is. and it turns out it's not exactly that. While some that have this streak in them already as an inclination, they will feel like purposefully doing that, presenting something in a much better light, in a much more, grand way. And for some people, they can benefit from this. Some great salespeople, they might not be great human beings, but they can over-represent something, or they can really, marketers and people that spin illusions, so that have to create an excited image of something. Pisces and Sagittarius, to excite you about something, to blow it out, to make it look better than it is. Well, that can be really productive and good way for you. If you're in any business that is with imagery, with presenting something in better light, in glamorous light, in selling something or presenting it as a life savior for someone, well, you can do the great job with that. So maybe launching marketing campaigns, especially after the full moon, can be quite expand and go viral, and sales can go viral as well. All right, so let's see sign by sign. So yes, it's a stressful new beginnings, but the ultimate goal is Jupiterian, to expand, to grow, and this growth, and you start doing it after Friday onwards, new beginnings. So for Aries, new beginnings are happening in regards to the 9th house. So new inspirations, new ideas can happen in regards to teaching something, in regards to, if you're a teacher or a lecturer, new beginnings are starting. In regards to travel of some sort, actually this can be a very busy week for traveling, the next 2 weeks actually for Aries, because the 12th house, where Pisces and Neptune and Mars are, is a house of faraway travels. And the 9th house, where the new moon is as well. So some new opportunities for travel can appear, for world travel, for teaching, for starting new beginnings in regards to higher knowledge, in regards to starting some course or to study something. But what the problem can be is something stressful will trigger you in that direction, something that infuriates you a bit. But also it might be that and also the 9th house is plans for the future. You're going to start getting more optimistic and starting to think of new plans, new ideas will come, new vision for the future. And that might be spurred by your guides on a subconscious level, because the square comes from Mars, Neptune, from the 12th house of spiritual guides, the invisible, and they might even allow something more tricky to happen or more stressful, so you can push you to this new vision about your life, or new plans and goals for the future, which is the 9th house, or towards that new journey, or towards that new educational development of some sort. Plus, some of your fears, subconscious fears, is the 12th house, where Mars and Neptune might be what is making it more challenging for those new beginnings, that you might be, because the 9th house hopes for the best, imagines the future great, and then Mars and Neptune in the 12th can have, but yes, but I'm not sure if it will happen. Oh, fear, Mars and Neptune is fearful, fears that comes from the subconscious, or unrealistic expectations, that they might be the problem. Plus, they might be careful, Aries, because there might be someone working behind the scenes there, or you might be inclined to do some secret actions, that Mars and Neptune in the 12th house, or you might feel a little bit more dissipated, or more kind of confused, or dreamy, or glamorous, with Neptune conjunct Mars in your 12th house, and you might feel like a little bit of your energy is lacking because of the Mars-Neptune conjunction in the 12th house. And Mars being in your 12th house, guys, this week continues. You might be feeling maybe it's good time for preparation for something, or rather than and preparing the vision for the future, rather than for really big things to start acting on. Once Mars moves into your sign, Aries, from the start of the new year, you'll get that energy and that that ability to start manifesting more again. And you might feel more spiritual, more gentle, though, because of this Neptune conjunct your Mars. But the start of the week, the Sun squares it. So it's it's good for preparation, for doing something behind the scenes. But be careful that you're not doing some gossip, or that you're not doing some harmful actions on others behind the scenes. That you try and be more honest this week, consciously, because you might feel tempted to kind of twist the truth or something like that. And it might get reflected to you by having someone who does something underhanded to you or twist the truth as well. For Taurus, the new beginnings are happening in their 8th house. So they can be powerful triggers to change something and to do it in a new way in regards to your mutual resources with partner, finances, and they can be, especially second houses, insurances, inheritances, taxes, partners' resources. There might be some change there that is happening over the next 2 weeks. It might be, and it's also investments. And there might be some challenges that are coming to you in order to trigger it to that new direction. Maybe change of your goals, which trigger you to rethink also your finances and mutual resources as well, or pooled money, because the square comes from your 11th house, your long-term goals, and there might be some tensions between you and friends about differences of values and differences, because the Mars-Neptune thing is making a square to the full moon. And the 11th house rules also colleagues and groups of people. If you're in parts of forums or something, you might feel some tension there, and power struggles. 8th house is power struggles. 11th house, when Mars and Neptune are, is groups of people, maybe about difference of opinions and beliefs, because it happens in the signs of Pisces and Neptune. And maybe difference of opinions with colleagues or friends of some sort that creates some power struggle. And the need for new beginnings and big new change, because the new moon is happening in the 8th house of transformations. So the next 2 weeks, Taurus will give you an opportunity not only to start changing something in regards to your finances, resources, but in regards to sudden miraculous changes. Like the next 2 weeks will be very sudden changes for you guys, because the new moon is in the 8th house, which is it's like a spinning vortex that can shift things 180 degrees for you very, very fast. All right, and then for Gemini, this is happening in your 7th house. The Geminians will be one of the people really strongly affected. So new beginnings can happen over the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, in regards to your relationships. Something new can appear in the life of your partner, and in the life of, if you already have a partner, or you can start a new relationship after Friday onwards, or new business partnership, or new deal or agreement that's coming. Don't do it before the moon becomes visible, though, before Friday, because it might not be lasting. But those new beginnings that are coming for you in regards to relationships, in regards to partnerships, agreement, contract, they might be triggered because of a change in your social status of some sort, or because some authority figure, because Mars and Neptune in your 10th house, puts your buttons or irritates you, or kind of pushes you into some direction, to create a new contract, a new agreement, or because you're like, your desire to be number one, the 10th house, is to be a top dog. It feels like something is not right in your career, or something that some stress happens in your career that pushes you into creating new partnerships, that pushes you into changing something about your relationship in a new level, or starting a new contract of some sort, or some authority figure can do that. But they can be a bit of a 7th house is relationships, 10th house is authority figures. There might be some clash between you and people, and if you're an authority figure with other people that or that is stressing you. And some relationships can be the reason to change your career plans as well. All right, if you are Cancer, this is happening, the new moon, in your 6th house. You'll be kind of new beginnings that you're forced into in some way, because it's what a square does, or that you're kind of irritated into and challenged into to begin, but that will give you opportunity for expansion and growth and more happiness in regards to your health. You might feel your health is a little bit more sensitive, your nerves, mental, physical health as well this week. Even your stomach, the 6th house is the intestines, the stomach, and all this kind of digestive side. You might feel that they're a little bit more sensitive there. Be careful. But something can push you into making a new beginning in regards to your diet or health habits, or in regards to your doctor, or in regards to how you take care of your body. And it will be something, maybe some new idea, because the Mars Neptune square that pushes you into this new beginning action is in your 9th house. So it will be maybe something new that you read, some new knowledge that comes to your 9th house, is knowledge that kind of motivates you and gives you this drive of the square aspect to start a new beginning, to change something about your health, or because you find the because of some strong beliefs, or someone presents you with new beliefs or new perspective of the truth, which is the 9th house, and the new outlook, which almost makes you angry about why you're doing your health in a certain way, or your attitude towards health, and can push you into changing something there. And the ultimate goal is, of course, to grow in a positive way, to make you happy and healthier. And on another level, the 6th house is your work. There can be some kind of stresses at work, but also new beginnings that comes to you because of expanded or new goals, because there is a new goals now in 9th houses, goals for the future, big plans. So some big new plans are changing, and they push you, the square aspect, into beginning something new in your work, in your career, in your employment. And there might be some kind of, on the more negative side, some kind of clashes of opinions. 9th house is our beliefs, our worldview, opinions with workmates, the 6th house. But the ultimate goals of those are, and there might be clashes of opinions or some irritations about how to do your work. Even if you don't work with people, you might be presented with some new point of view, 9th house, Mars, Neptune, Mercury, which makes you change how you do your job, or makes you change how you do your work, and it's a bit of a forceful change, or triggered by irritation, but it's ultimately is to help you grow and have better conditions. Also, some of your work plans or daily routines plans can be a bit disruptive, and you might have to make a new plan and a new change in regards to your daily routines, and come up with a better, more efficient way, because again, you find out some knowledge or information, or because some goals change in your life. All right, if you are Leo, this new moon in Sagittarius is happening in your 5th house. So they can be powerful new beginnings over the next 2-3 weeks in regards to your love life. But it might come to you because of something that irritates you, because of the square between Mars and Neptune comes from your 8th house, to trigger those new beginnings. And 8th house means the values of others. So maybe some difference of opinions and in regards to the values of a partner or others, what they find valuable, important. This is what pushes you into some kind of changes and new beginnings in regards to your romantic life. So there might be some clashes and irritations with a lover, with a romantic partner of some sort, or with your children. The 5th house rules the children, because of difference of values, or because even of some resources, mutual finances, that pushes you into those new beginnings. Or you can be pushed because 8th house is mutual resources, and also it's power struggles. But mutual resources can be the reason that pushes you into some, or resources, money of some sort, financial situation, that pushes you into some new beginnings in regards to creative projects as well, the 5th house. In regards to, you can get like a powerful, brilliant, inspired idea, because the 5th house channels divine ideas and inspirations. When there is the new moon there, you come up with a great new idea, and your intelligence will be more brighter this month, this week. And something might irritate you to push you into that new idea. It might be financial issues, as I said, or the desire for big transformation, which is also the 8th house, big transformation or healing or a sudden breakthrough that pushes you into some getting a great new idea. Also some situation that is connected to taxes, inheritances, other people's resources, insurances, can push you into starting something new in your life. And the 5th house rules something that you intelligently think of. And as I said, your children can be more of an irritation and stress, but they push you again into creative solutions and new beginnings there. And or There can be new starts in the life of your children or lovers and loved ones because of changed circumstances, because the eighth house is some sudden change that happens there. And also there can be a fifth house is any new project that is you're using your own intelligence to start and new ideas. So again, the eighth house is, there can be some dilemma there that you have to fix in regards to the financing of this new project and this creative project, and that this is what can be stressing you more psychologically, emotionally. But the ultimate goal of the square, as I said, they're both ruled by Jupiter, both Pisces and Sagittarius, that are activating this full moon, this new moon. They both, the ultimate goal is to create growth, and this will grow, this new creative idea that comes. All right. Or even romantic relationship, or starting on a new level, or refreshing your romantic relationships, even if there's some stresses there. If you're Virgo, now Virgos will be affected very strongly by this new moon in Sagittarius, because it's happening in their fourth house, which is an angular house, which is about their personal life, place of living. So there can be some powerful new beginnings over the next few weeks in regards to changing something about your home, changing something about your garden or property or family circumstances are changing. New opportunities will appear, new opportunities for growth, for expansion of family as well, or numbers of people that you live with, or your personal life. But there is some trigger that kickstarts, some irritation that kickstarts. Maybe like you've had enough of something and you're like, okay, now I'm gonna move us, or we're gonna move, or I'm gonna make this change. Or maybe something that happens in, you know, with your partner, because the square comes from the seventh house. Your partner irritates you about something, or husband or wife, or someone else tells you something that pushes you into action to change your place of living, or to finally mobilize yourself to fix your home, or to do some home repairs. And also car repairs, the fourth house is that, or new beginnings in regards to something that pushes you into getting a new vehicle, or changing something in your family overall. And there can be some power struggles with others. Mars is making the square to the new moon from your seventh house with others. Might be a relationship fight, might be a client that triggers you and that presses your buttons, especially emotionally, because the fourth house where the full new moon is the house of your feelings, how you react. So be careful not to go a bit, you know, it's going to be more stressful for you, Virgos. But be careful that, you know, not to overreact, so you might regret it after that, because they're the seeds now of new beginnings, which might give results for a long time. And, you know, so you don't want to be overly stressed and overly reactive, so you create enemies or fight with others. So they can be like kind of clashes between family, your personal life, and partners of some sort. But the ultimate goal is to improve your conditions and of your home, of your personal life, of your emotional relationships, which is the fourth house, of your the dynamics in your family as well. All right, and if you are Libra, this new moon is happening in your third house, and the square is coming from the sixth house. The Mars-Neptune square, the activation is coming from the sixth house. So you can have some powerful new beginnings over the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, in regards to starting to learn something new, in regards to starting to some new skills, to develop some new skills, to maybe to start new marketing or sales campaigns, to start new. If you have anything to do with business administration and commercial business transactions, this is the third house. There can be some new beginnings there. There can be some new ideas that come to you. They can be, if you have anything to do with media, with communications, with writing and speaking, there will be new projects that are coming in your life. Or there might be new projects with the small groups of people. There might be new projects with writing. There might be new projects with marketing, advertisement, reports of some sort that are coming. New ideas in regards of sales and all those kind of business administrative tasks. So new ideas, new beginnings in regards to relationships with siblings, with relatives, new beginnings. But there can be some stresses with such people, or even co-workers and teammates is the third house. Yes, there will be new beginnings there, but maybe something is pushing into action. That's why there's some stresses and especially in the work environment. Mars and Neptune are in the 6th house of your duties and responsibilities and work and employment, squaring planets in the 3rd house of colleagues. There can be some tensions there. Or 3rd house can be anyone you're communicating on a daily basis with, even emails and clients communication. So there might be some criticism or some kind of, because the 6th house where Mars is like someone kind of attacking you or criticizing you, that's affecting your communication and making you more irritable. And at the same time, though, the ultimate goal of this is to push you into some new beginning, into changing your communication style and how you write or speak with others. It's to push you these irritations, or to push you to change the dynamics of your group of co-workers as well, or associates or affiliates of some sort that you're working with, and to start new beginning, reset button. And those irritations from work that can happen, or maybe increased workload, Mars in the 6th house, or responsibilities or duties, even if you're not working, somehow they'll increase that, can make you look for new beginnings in regards to scheduling your day. The 3rd house is also how you schedule your day. 6th house is responsibilities, the square comes there, and those, and things might not be exactly as you expect them. There will be some challenges you have to adjust over the next week or two, of some kind of stresses with your work plan, maybe because of too many responsibilities, maybe because of some, kind of bickering or mental stress. I think mostly Sagittarius will feel it, mental stress, or if, when it comes, there might be new beginnings in regards to traveling somewhere, traveling plans. That could be a little bit more stressful, but at the same time, the ultimate goal is to push you into some action. This is what the square aspect wants to do, and some action and new beginning there. And we spoke what those new beginnings can be in the 3rd house. Okay, if you are Scorpio, this is happening, the new moon, in your 2nd house. This is your finances and how you deal with them, and your self-worth and your resources. Well, there will be new beginnings there. You can get new ideas, new inspirations, how to grow your resources and finances that might be giving seeds for the next 12 months, or take the next 12 months to develop. But this new moon, don't start them before the moon becomes visible. But you might be triggered into this new beginnings with finances and resources and your assets and your possessions and your clothes, to make some changes there because of, because there is something that frustrates you first. Maybe because you've spent a bit too much on, maybe some kind of spending appears, because when Mars and Neptune are making the square to your 2nd house of money, activating the new moon there, they're from the 5th house. Maybe you spend on something too much, on pleasures, or on having fun, or on some creative hobbies or entertainment of some sort. Maybe some extra expenses can appear for children. Mars in the 2nd house, in the 5th house, for children, or for lovers, or for holidays of some sort and entertainment, and that you have to pay, and that this pushes you, this kind of, okay, now I have to change something about my resources. Now I have to get some parallel income or extra income, or maybe now I have to do better with my finances and resources, and now put like a reset button there and start doing it in a different way. On another level, the 2nd house, so those new ideas, those new beginnings in regards to resources, something triggers you. Maybe might be even like a fight with a lover or a child that pushes you into that, or that starts this. We can't be so specific, but I'm trying to see how it can work. And the 2nd house is also what we eat. So what we put in our mouth, you can be triggered into new beginnings there over the next 2-3 weeks. How you feed yourself, whether you put smoke, or whether you put alcohol, or whether you put fats, or what do you put there. You might be inspired, because it's a new moon in Sagittarius after all, that brings inspiration into something, to change something in regards to your diet and your food habits. Because something, you get frustrated, and Mars triggers you, then you're like, okay, I've had enough. Mars puts you into action for that. But it might be preceded, this change, by some restlessness, and okay, now it's time to do it. Or maybe because you're excited about a holiday, 5th house, or And that's why you want to start looking better. So you start change your food habits. Or maybe because of a lover or someone that you have the hots for, fifth house, that pushes you to change your dietary habits or your spending habits, or to spend on something, or to start new beginnings in regards to your finances, resources, and also in regards to your clothes and possessions of any sort. And the second house rules face and lips, so you might decide to have some new beginnings in regards to how you look and the makeup because of a romantic partner, fifth house, or because of a holiday or something like that, or new inspiration, new ideas. But it starts kind of stressfully usually. All right, and if you are Sagittarius, of course, Sagittarius will feel this new moon so strongly because it's in your sign, especially in the middle. Sagittarius born, if you're born around the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, wow, this new moon is very important. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th of December, because there is a new moon, on your sun exactly, or if it's your moon or ascendant in Sagittarius at 15 degrees, there is a new moon on your ascendant moon, which means that powerful new beginnings over the next whole 12 months, not just the next 2 weeks. But if you're any kind of other Sagittarius, it gives you the opportunity to start reset button, new ideas. Sagittarius, you are going to be flooded with new ideas, new inspirations. Jupiter is very close to that new moon. Jupiter inspires, answers directly from above, channels it from above, from your higher self, from your guides, from whatever you believe in, from God. So you'll be downloading the program for the next 12 months, Sagittarius. Some of you, might be even longer period. And you'll be, because Jupiter is involved, even some of the decisions that you make and some of the new beginnings that start over the next 2-3 weeks for you after Friday, you have to wait for the new moon to set in. They might impact you for 12 years after that, because this new moon is very close to Jupiter for you. So, and this new moon is going to help you a lot. It's going to put you into action. But it might start a bit frustrating because Mars is making square to this new moon, Mars and Neptune, from the 4th house for Sagittarius, which means that something emotionally that frustrates you, that puts your buttons, maybe even your family can say something to you, or you might be fed up with the situation with your family that pushes you into new beginnings, or you might be even fed up with the situation or frustrated about something about your home, your property, your place of living, or just emotionally something is kind of, this is irritating me. And because of that, it can push you to take action, the square aspect, into new beginnings into your life. And it can be new beginnings even in regards to your appearance. It can be new beginnings, that new ideas that you get about the 1st house rules everything, that the direction in your life, about your career, about your vocation, about where you want to be. And this is such important part of the year for you, Sagittarius. I mean, it's been happening quite important things for many Sagittarius. They've been feeling it, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. But now this new moon is another powerful activation for you. There will be quite a few activations because Jupiter is there for you throughout the year. But now you'll get, over the next week or two, you'll get the ideas and you'll get the signs from the universe, what it is that is going to grow in your life, what it is that is going to bring you expansion, and you will feel compelled to act because of an inner feeling. Mars in the 4th house, something inwardly compels you to act and start those beginnings. But again, wait till the moon appears after Sunday, or from Sunday onwards. But now pay attention to those ideas, write them down. Some very important developments can happen around Friday, maybe a few days before, a few days after. These will give the seeds for you to take you on a new path, or to empower you, to make you more visible, and to make you manifest and start new beginnings of any sort for that will impact you for many, many years. All right. Then if you are Capricorn, this new moon is starting in your 12th house. So you can feel like you're like a portal opening with your intuition, by the way. And you can get some powerful downloads and insight about what it is you have to remove from your life. And I know new moon is about new beginnings, but the 12th house is about endings, where it's happening for you. So you might get clearer signs this week and a bit after what it is that needs to be chopped off. And you might need a whole year to chop it off. Or the best case scenario, about a month till the new moon in Capricorn comes. And that you become, something will push you into deciding to remove things from your life. I know it's a new moon, but it's a new moon that gives you ideas to start removing something from your life. And what will trigger in that might be, Mars is squaring this, some irritation, and maybe someone tells you something, because Mars is in the 3rd house, that upsets you and that irritates you, and you're like, okay, enough, I'll remove this from my life, of that person, or I'll complete this. It can be a great indication for completions over the next 1 month for you Capricorns, ending something. You might get some new ideas about how to end it better, how to complete it better in some sort. But just be careful, because you might be more argumentative, because the 3rd house is triggered by Mars and Neptune. You might be saying things that are not that might be not realistic, and you might even get information from someone that is a bit misleading. And because this new moon is in your 12th house, 12th house is connected to illusions or deception, sometimes to your imagination. Your imagination is very active, but very few people's imaginations, they're truthful intuition. Usually you might feel it, that you kind of, some fears are growing a bit in your subconscious, and some kind of your imagination, your subconscious is kind of expanding, and it's those subconscious fears can trickle into your conscious mind and can make you kind of become more biting in conversations with others. So it can attract to you people in your daily communications that are a bit more forceful with you, and there might be some more bickering and stresses with such people. But on another level, they can be powerful new imaginative ideas that come to you, because the 12th house rules our imagination. So people that are creative, that need to envision something, like create some new world, or create something that uses a lot of the imagination, this can trigger them into downloading a lot of important information. And the 3rd house, Mars and Neptune, will push them into start implementing it. 3rd house rules the hands, and manually over the next 2-3 weeks, or to some kind of a new imaginative. 12th house for me also rules, anything to do with spinning illusions and making things more beautiful than they are, and portraying something in a better light. So Mars and Neptune in the 3rd house with this square, can be good for anyone who is in marketing and advertising and campaigning, about presenting something in a better light. So you might get those new ideas there as well. On another level, there might be some hidden actions that are impacting your relationships with others. So be careful for that. Or it can mean that there might be a new beginning for you in regards to a faraway place, or if you're doing business with faraway places, and you might be spurred into that again by some kind of a stressful initial situation, because you're fed up with something and you have to move now. You're pushed out of your comfort zone in regards to taking up some new initiative connected to faraway countries, or connected to a 12th house also rules to let go, to rest, to break. So there might be a new beginning that you decide to go on a faraway holiday or retreat or something, because you're fighting too much with people, or because you're too stressed in your daily life. 3rd house is like daily life, and too many kind of let's say little tasks to complete here and there, and it's a very busy house, very what your everyday mind is doing, and because of too many such things, you're like, okay, I have to run away. New beginning, in a sense that I'm gonna take a break. That's the 12th house, and you decide like, okay, I'm gonna give myself. You decide, you come up with a new plan. I'm gonna start giving myself a break, like a meditation every time I'm more stressed or I get overwhelmed with little tasks, or you discover like a new way to make yourself chill and cool and relax because of little daily stresses that push you to prioritize those new beginnings in regards to letting go and relaxing and taking it easier. All right, if you're an Aquarius, this is happening, the new moon in your 11th house. There will be powerful new inspirations and new beginnings connected to maybe a new friendship that appears in your life, and connected to, and maybe that you want to press the reset button on some of your friendships because of some stressful influences, or because like you've had enough with something, Mars is influencing that, or because you're disillusioned with something. So, and somehow new opportunities will be given to you over the next 2-3 weeks to start a new social circle or to get more active with friends, because the square from Mars to your 11th house, friendships and social circle, can push you into action, to be more proactive with friends, to change somehow and start new beginnings, to change your strategy or behaviors with friends. And it might be even that the friend says, well, you haven't called me in a long time, and that's like, it's irritated, and you say, I'm disappointed in you, this is not the right friendship, and it pushes you, okay, so I'm gonna do friendships better. Or it might be the 11th house is all kind of social contacts, it might be even business contacts, and it might be people that are important benefactors of some sort. And what can push you into contacting or starting new beginnings with such is a financial situation, because the 2nd house, when Mars is making the square from, is money and resources. So you want to have more money, and you're frustrated that you have some extra expenses or whatever, so you contact someone maybe that becomes important for helping you fulfill those goals. The 11th house is gains. The 2nd house is how we spend money. So there will be new ideas coming to you how to make money, how to gain more profitability, rewards. This new moon will definitely bring it, but maybe because you have some extra expenses that comes to you, Mars in the 2nd house. So next week or two, be careful, because there will be extra expenses, more than usual. And maybe some of them unforeseen, or, and those expenses can push you, or those some kind of stresses with finances, or even increased ambition, because Mars in the 2nd house square means like it pushes you into action to make more gains, the 11th house new moon, because of increased ambitions, and or just because something frustrates you, there were more expenses. And on another level, be careful not to fight with friends about money. That's another thing that can happen. Or with not only friends, it might be coworkers, or about assets, or about some possession, about like, it might be like, where's my dress? You haven't returned my dress. Or why did you buy the same dress like me? 2nd house is possessions, what we consider valuable. Or you might have some fight with others, 11th house is others, because of difference of values. 2nd house is your values, and that can, but somehow it will push you into this fight that can happen. It can push you into joining a new social group, or joining new friends, or changing your tactics with friends. So it can push you into changing your strategy with how you communicate with large groups of people, or with your friends. And if you're someone who is a lot in the public eye, the 11th house is your fans or your followers. So you might have a new strategy to create new fans and followers, because your values have changed in some way, or because of some, changed ambitions in regards to your resources and finances. Or but be careful not to fight with your fans or followers because of money, or difference of values, and what you consider worthy. All right, and if you're Pisces will be strongly affected by this new moon. It's happening in your 10th house. Pisces, very powerful. And I think Pisces and Sagittarius, of course, will be the two signs most affected. Pisces, your whole status can change. New beginnings, like a new career can come, or a big new planning in regards to your career, or a new boss can come, or the 10th house is what the public sees about you, your reputation, your social status, married, single, such kind of, how do they see you? Or she's a sculptor, or she's a mother of 3. Well, something can push you into powerful new beginnings can change to change your whole social status and how people observe your public reputation. And there'll be this new beginnings that start. They might start a bit stressfully because and you might, but you're the instigator, because Mars that triggers this new beginnings is in the first house in you. So because you become more ambitious, maybe Mars, more proactive, you're gonna kickstart higher social status for yourself. But be careful for fights between authority figures or father figures or bosses of some sort because of this, you know, at work, some kind of, you know, stresses that can happen. Or you might just feel more stressed because of work or because of career and because of some big ambitions that you have, and that you have a lot of work to do, and that it's kind of stressing you or dissatisfying you, and it's making you start new beginnings, you know, and it's mobilizing you to get active as well. It's a good thing for you to work out a bit, Pisces, to be more physical as well, to release that tension, or to start after the 9th. So basically from Sunday onwards, to start new beginnings in regards to some new goals that you have for your career, in regards to some new goals that you have, new projects in your career, or starting a new career even, and some new, you'll be very busy getting those things done. But the new ideas will come around the new moon, and you can start making them happen. Not only new ideas, but new circumstances. It's not only something, you know, and you can start acting on them from Sunday onwards. And you'll be a powerhouse of energy, but you'll be more irritable again, and you'll be more restless. There'll be this sense of restlessness. Gotta get starting. You know, it's uncomfortable here. I want to get there. I want to get there on the top of the hill. Go, 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 you know. But it can be a very exciting week. Very sparky, you know, with this Mars influences. And of course, Mars is conjoined with the ruler of your second ruler, Pisces. Neptune. So that will definitely make you more motivated, more eager to act. But be careful again for those stresses that can happen, those irritations, and that you're not taken advantage by some authority figure as well, or that you're pushed into to do things that you don't really want. All right, so there we go. So thank you so much. And actually, Pisces, even you might be pushed by someone to do something, authority figure, that or that you don't want, but this is the nature of the square, and that will bring improved social status for you and visibility. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. Woo, interesting week. So you can join my Astrolada page, and we do discussions there. How is your week going? How are new moons going? We will give support to each other there. And we also check out my 2019 astrology videos, or the written horoscopes by my teacher, or the 2019 calendar. And I have a great thing coming for you in December. I'm so excited. After 3 years of doing it, that's such a slow project for me. I'm finally releasing it. So being an Aquarius ascendant, this new moon will bring a new stream of followers for me, of course, because the new moon in the 11th, because I expect that probably maybe 40, 50,000 people will have access to this free within the next few months, you know, hoping towards 100,000, this free transit calculator, personal transits for each one of you, so you don't have to listen to me every week and wait for your sign to come. I'm just kidding. But yeah, exciting things coming in December. Thank you so much.